Folks, folks, is it on? Folks, this has been a long day for us. Have you guys enjoyed this? You think we should do it again next year? I like that. Lots of good hooping and hollering. I like that. Well, we're nearly at the end of the competition, and you can see behind me setting up, we got a special treat for you. But we do have one more award. If you've been here with us through the day, you've noticed that we've done several awards. We've done an award for Herman Albee, and for Bud Meredith, and for Jody Hall, and for Leo Mudd. Some of the fiddle players and instrumental people who are instrumental in fiddling in Grayson County. There's one other gentleman that we're going to recognize tonight, and if the Pierce family is up here, if any of the Pierce family, if you join me on stage. There's another gentleman from Grayson County who was well known across the United States, not only as a fiddle player, but as a band leader. And this person's influence has been tremendous across the world, both in bluegrass and in later years of his life in fiddling and fiddle contest judging. And this man's name is Lonnie Pierce. So we have some, come on up here, guys. We have two of his daughters and grandson up here with me. And we are naming the first place Bluegrass Band Award the Lonnie Pierce Award. And to recognize Lonnie and to show our appreciation to Lonnie and the Pierce family for all they've done for fiddling and for fiddle music and bluegrass music in Grayson County. So I'd like to read a little bit, if you'll let me one more time. I'd like to read a little bit and tell you about Lonnie Pierce. Lonard, or Lonnie Pierce, was born in Grayson Springs area of Grayson County, Kentucky in 1923, the son of James and Margaret Pierce. He was the 10th of 13 children. Lonard was taught to play bass fiddle by his uncle Rex Grant at about the age of 6. He picked it up quickly. His family was very musical and he always had music at home. Nearly everyone in the family could play an instrument. His father was gifted with the fiddle. His brothers Vesper and Wilbur played fiddle and guitar. His brother Edward played guitar. His oldest sister Hazel played the organ, and his mother played guitar. Lonard, Wilbur, and Vesper would play at dances throughout the county for fun. Lonard was a soldier during World War II and was wounded on the very first day of the Battle of the Bulge. He carried scars and these injuries for the rest of his life. Upon his discharge, he returned to Kentucky and he married Agneta Luckett on January 12, 1945. Together they had 9 children, 2 of which are with us. Tony, Larry, Randy, 5 boys, Tony, Larry, Randy, Vernon, and Joe, and 4 girls, Linda, Kathy, Judy, and Dolores. Shortly after this time, he began his professional career in music. His music was his life and often took him away from home and family, which is the case with a lot of musicians. His children remember Lonard as a very reserved man at home, as a lot of artists are. They recall that he took good care of them all, though, and even though he wasn't at home for much of the growing up years, they can all remember going to bed at night to him practicing songs such as Fox on the Run and the Orange Blossom Special. Lonard, or Lonnie, as he was called professionally, as I knew him as Lonnie, formed the Bluegrass Alliance in 1968, and within a few years was already busy with booking gigs at fairs, clubs, festivals, and colleges. The group appeared on the Grand Ole Opry at least a dozen times over the next decade and cut 5 albums. One of the first groups to be stuck with the gimmicky label of Newgrass, the band went on hiatus in the late 70s, that unfortunately for lovers of bluegrass music like us, it went a little bit longer than anyone really intended it to go. But some of the pickers who were members of the Bluegrass Alliance were some of the most noted names in bluegrass, including mandolin player Sam Bush, flat-picking whizzes Dan Crary and Tony Rice, banjo players Buddy Spurlock and Courtney Johnson, as well as a gentleman from Oklahoma named Vince Gill, who got his start with Lonnie in the Bluegrass Alliance, and Vince, of course, is in the Country Music Hall of Fame. Lonnie decided to retire from performing for health reasons in 1977, and he devoted much of this time to his passion of violin building and playing, and he made many fine instruments. By the way, I played several of his fiddles, and they're great. He spent countless hours at old-time and bluegrass contests, judging fiddle contests, and coming up with innovative sets of guidelines and rules for these events and mentoring younger fiddle players. And I can tell you about my personal experience as a young man in Weiser, Idaho in 1984. I had bugged Lonnie for years, please let me drive your 280ZX. That was a hot car in 1984. And so Lonnie knew that I was sweet on this little blonde-haired girl out there. And he came up to me and said, now's the time I'm going to let you drive my car. So he let me take that really nice, brand new 1984 280ZX and drive all around town with that little blonde-haired girl. Boy, was she impressed. Mainly with the car, not so much with me. That's the kind of guy Lonnie was. Lonnie Pierce passed away in Louisville on May 31st, 1996 at the age of 72. But I can assure you, those of us, that anybody who's played music and from Grayson County and is connected with fiddling and bluegrass will always remember Lonnie Pierce. Okay, Kevin Mudd.